Smiddag sê aan Lindie Malan. Lindie, lekker om jou hier te hê. Weer eens.
Absoluut, jou. Ons stel nou die jaar af in weke, né?
Praat jy?
Praat
Nee,
jy?
ek kan nie meer byhou nie. Ek meen Augustus is daarmee heen, die lente is hier. Ek het nog nie eens my gras moet ek reg kry. Kom ons los daai storie want dit is tuinwerke. Kom ons praat eerder oor interessante dinge. You've got a guest here today, Craig Morse, the Director of Management Accounting Services at Crowe DNA. Good afternoon, Craig, and welcome.
Good afternoon. Thanks very much for having me on the show today.
I can't wait to hear what you have to say because Lindie always asks very difficult questions. So I
I look forward to answering them.
Thanks for that intro, Christy. Craig, thank you so much for coming.
Thanks, Lindie. It's great to be here.
I know, and it's all about showcasing and spotlighting business in the Helderberg, and yours specifically, Crowe DNA, Director of Crowe DNA. So, of course, tell us where it all started. This is all, your firm is in the accounting and financial industry, but so where did it start for you,
Sure,
having
Lindie.
this beautiful business?
That's it's going back a little bit.
Sure.
But I studied in Stellenbosch, grew up in Stellenbosch, and studied at Stellenbosch University, where I then progressed on to working at a local auditing firm, qualifying as a chartered accountant. And so gaining experience and exposure in the auditing world. From there, moving on into a couple of different spaces, but still staying within the management accounting and advisory sort of focus area. And so working in a couple of other places, gaining some experience. So all the while seeing how things are done differently, but still within accounting. And, seeing that gave me the idea of, starting my own firm and business because of a desire to do things differently.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, I think that's one of the purposes. Whilst building a career, you get to understand or see, I like this, I don't like this. I prefer to do it this way or that way. So that leads on to your decision somewhere in 2021. Okay, you know what? I'm going to do this, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
I mean, it's, years of seeing how things are done.
Yes.
But, the issue that I always had was how accounting was handled, in a very old-fashioned sense and light. Everything being done historically with old data and, not on time. And, it was just reports were unimpressive. And
if there's reports.
Even if you get reporting,
yes,
which is sometimes so delayed.
Yeah.
And it was just, quite frankly, very boring to read and look at. And it's no wonder nobody ever really engaged with it.
Yeah, and if you think about it, Craig, accounting, Christy, it's probably, there's another profession that's older than that, but certainly, but if I can just tongue in cheek, bean counters, probably one of the oldest professions in the world, right? And listening to you, do I get a sense like that at that stage you were worried that not everyone, but a big part of the accounting industry is still in the dark ages. It's still like centuries ago.
Very much in the dark ages.
Has not transformed themselves. And you looked at it and you said, no, I want to do it differently.
Exactly. I wanted to do it differently. I wanted to, get people excited about their finances again.
That's exciting.
And become engaged with their finances.
And why do you think that's important, Craig?
Any person running a business knows that finance is really the backbone of everything.
Absolutely.
Especially if you're in the startup phase or, even in the growth phase especially. You need to have a proper handle and understanding of your finances.
Absolutely. It's how you measure success, it's how you measure everything. It's your scorecard,
and
right?
It's how you make reliable decisions,
Absolutely.
Not risk-based ones.
Absolutely.
Okay. And knowing where your finances are in a real time.
In order to make a decision.
Exactly.
But you made an important decision as well. It's not just a startup. You didn't just start your own business. You made a decision to become part of a global company or global group. Let's say it that way. Association,
yes.
right?
When I started out, I had this idea that I wanted to do things differently. But, I didn't want to do it alone. I wanted to be part of something, an establishment that could take this idea further.
Lovely.
And I reached out to a lot of people within the network and my network at the time. And it led me down the path to become involved with Crowe, which is a globally recognized brand with 800 offices in 150 different countries.
Oh my word, quite
locations.
Extensive, right?
So quite an extensive global reach.
Okay.
And it's a well-known brand, but perhaps not in the sense of other traditional accounting firms out there. So it gave me the opportunity to do things a little bit differently. And create something different from what was already out there in terms of the management accounting advisory space.
And I think why that's important, Christy, is when we decide to open a new business, there's always options. I mean, you can either go completely on your own. You decided to be part of Crowe International and be part of a bigger group. Why is that also important for you in terms of positioning yourself with a client, so a prospective client? What is in it for them, the fact that you're part of the Crowe Global Association?
I think, Lindie, it's they have a lot of benefits to that, and I'd like to touch on that a little bit later on as well.
Okay, when we get back.
We get to the benefits of partnering with a firm like ourselves.
Yeah.
But I think, the most advantageous aspect that somebody could have for partnering with us would be the wealth of experience and expertise that a global firm comes with, no matter where you might be in the world.
Okay, and that's actually quite important because there's a depth of information, IP. It's like we've done it, we've seen it. And that's for yourself, the benefit, and your clients. Yeah. Okay, when we get back, we'll chat a little bit more with Craig.
Yes, so it's just one thing. He said you must love your finances. I think you said that, hey?
That's exactly it.
How can I do that? I mean, really,
is that even possible?
There's no money.
You've got to fall in love with money. You choose your battle.
We'll carry on with this after this one by Earl John. We're busy with the business lunch with Lindie, and she's chatting to Craig Morse. Lindie.
Craig, we ended off with you wanting to do things differently. So maybe let me put you on the spot. So how do you do this differently? What is important for you in your relationship with your clients?
Lindie, our focus has always been to listen to our clients. The client is different. Every client is different. They're in a different growth space. They're in a different phase with their company. And they have different needs and wants that they would want to get from a service.
Okay.
So it's critical for us to listen to what our clients
understand where they are at with their business,
coming from, and where they are at in their business life cycle.
So first their understanding has got to work for them, and then what else would you do?
So apart from listening to our clients, we aim to and strive to consistently deliver accounts that are accurate,
brilliant,
that are on time, insightful, to provide our clients with real-time information.
So I know exactly what is the status of my business right here, right now, by the push of a button. It's updated, it's real, it's available, and information is power, right?
Exactly. We're using a lot of the best and latest technology to do this. So that our time is not wasted on capturing information day in and day out, where we can really focus our time and energy on partnering with our clients to advise them in the best possible way to make the best decisions for their business. And by being consistent with the financial information, you are able to make the right decisions. Too often in the past, the older accounting firms, associations, would deliver very outdated information.
Or I have no idea what's happening. I'll have to wait for my financial statements at the end of the year, once a year.
At the end of the year for that annual financial meeting, where you eventually talk about the things that were rather than that what it could be. I think the way it was in the older sense of the word of accounting firms is that they would often be the gatekeepers of information, holding very closely all that very dear data and everything like that. And, you'd have to get in touch with your accountant to hear any bit of financial information. And we're empowering owners to take control of that information.
That's
themselves,
fantastic.
so that at any time of the day or night, wherever you might be, you can tap into this information.
You think how important it is, because business is fast, opportunities arise, and I would want to I want to be empowered by information to make decisions about the future. And I think that's what you're referring to, right?
Exactly. We want to take a more futuristic outlook and perspective with our clients.
Okay.
Looking at what was, but how do we shape the future?
Trends, patterns,
exactly.
expenses in the past. What does that tell us about the future?
Yeah, and spending time on forecasting and budgeting.
Brilliant.
So that clients are able to manage their cash flow and to know what is coming up on the horizon.
And also mitigating risk, right?
Yeah, I mean, many business owners have obviously got factors that they want to consider, expansion-wise, or maybe staff hires. New
do I hire? Do I fire? I mean, do I build? What do I do?
Do I buy? All of those kind of things require significant time and input into looking ahead. And you can't do that if you're still trying to understand the past.
You're still trying to capture stuff. I'm horrified when I speak to business owners and I say, let's have a conversation about your financial situation. I get the answer, and I don't know, ask my accountant, and then I go, oh my gosh.
Exactly. And then you need to get in touch with your accountant, and they haven't even started on your work.
Give them a couple of weeks or a month.
And then you might get a report that's half correct in dear old Excel, which is, we all know, not very interesting to look at.
Or worse, my statements is in a Checkers bag or a Woolies bag, and it just give me a couple of weeks.
Slips and
a pile of slips. So using technology is important in your in your practice, right?
And we use all the best technologies that are out there at the moment to really streamline and make sure that we don't miss out on any vital information.
Example is Dex, I've heard you guys using Dex. What's that about?
I mean, we use Dex quite extensively with our clients. So especially in the businesses where it's very centered around a lot of invoices coming in from suppliers and that sort of thing. And in the past, it would take somebody hours to capture all that information. But whereas now at the moment it takes us just a couple of minutes.
And it's literally an app on your phone. You take a photograph.
You can scan it in via your phone, via your emails, and that kind of work is taken
automatically done. So you don't have to wait for someone to do that.
And it's
that's
accurate.
why you pay less. That's why you pay them less.
We'll come to the pricing dilemma just now.
But I think what you're telling me is, we move away from things that's happening current right here, right now. And it sounds like you putting emphasis on partnering with your clients. Am I right?
That's right. We really like to have a partnership with our clients rather than just an arm's length, relationship where we actually become invested in the client's success.
You're on the speed dial of your client. Well, I don't know, accessible at 12 o'clock on a Sunday.
Well, we prefer not to have that, but we are there.
The idea.
We are there and we are accessible to run all of your business decisions by us, pick up the phone and give us a call. That's what we're there for. It's not to hold the information back from our clients.
Yeah. And it's about empowerment and it's knowledge. And Christy, when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about trends in the accounting industry, which is actually quite interesting.
And the decrease in payment. Am I correct?
No.
Damn.
Emphatically, no. You pay me for my knowledge.
Exactly.
Back with Lindie after this. Kylie Minogue, Padam on Helderberg FM. We're busy with Business Lunch with Lindie, our last session, and she's chatting to Craig Morse. Lindie.
Craig, I'd like you to touch a little bit on important trends happening in the accounting industry. Could you highlight maybe a couple that jumps to mind?
Yeah, sure, Lindie. I think, the biggest one that we are in at the moment is the move towards cloud-based softwares and solutions, and the complete move away from anything desktop-based.
Okay.
I think if you are a business owner or a firm, you should be incredibly serious about, if you haven't already made the move, but to be making the move towards cloud-based, solutions, especially
and that's real-time
accounting.
Accessibility to information at all times from anywhere, tablets, devices.
Night, you've got access to your information. As long as you've got a good internet or stable internet connection, you've got access to your data.
And there's obviously accounting packages that support cloud-based.
Definitely. There's a host of accounting packages out there that will suit different business owners' needs and preferences. But,
and what else? What else?
The biggest, reason to move cloud-based, not only obviously you've got information in real time, but you no longer have to worry about backups of your data or losing, important financial data. I've had that happen to a couple of our clients that are still on desktop-based.
And the hard drive gets stolen or, there's a flood.
And they lost an entire year's worth of financial information and it had to be rebuilt.
So it's just safer. That's the way to go.
It's way safer.
What other trends, Craig?
I think an important trend also is the move to outsourcing your financial function in your business.
Why is that important, do you think?
Traditionally you've got somebody that's taking care of this function in-house for you, but what that does is you limit it to the knowledge and experience of just that one person. And often when that person leaves or moves on to another job, all that experience and knowledge goes with that person at the end of the day, and you effectively have to start again at scratch. By outsourcing and partnering with the right firm, you're able to tap into a wealth of experience and knowledge.
And there's the longevity,
and
there's
the continuity,
retention of information
that stays with you and the business time and time again.
And also you can keep the third party accountable to stay ahead, to stay current, to stay to up their game, I suppose.
Oh, exactly. And we were always there, making use of the latest technologies and the latest trends in the financial space. So you can always be assured that you're going to get the best of the best when partnering with a reputable company.
Well, that's fantastic. So, Craig, why is this important for you? I mean, what gives you hope for the future? What is it that you are looking to achieve?
I think, Lindie, something that really gives me good hope for the future is to see how many business owners are becoming more aware of the importance of their finances and actively upskilling themselves and taking an interest once again in their finances and taking action, be it on the financial accounting side, be it on the tax side, but they are upskilling themselves, and that for me is really encouraging because that's what we want to do. We want to empower the business owners to make the right decisions and to own their finances at the end of the day. That's not the role we want to play. We want to be your partner that guides and walks the road with you to assist on any decisions that you might have a question or query on at the end of the day.
And I think gone are the days that where you left in the dark and here we now in the light. You are young. What dreams have you got for your company, Craig?
I look forward to the years ahead. We've got big aspirations, and I really enjoy the company. Starting a company from scratch has a lot of benefits, and one is you can choose who you like to work with.
Absolutely, and you can do it your way, right?
Exactly, and we have a fantastic team, of like-minded young individuals that are all making their way in the world too. And, we live out a balanced work-life culture in our office. We have a lot of emphasis on, work culture, how we work, and basically having a balance, which means, a good office health, which translates into better results for our clients at the end of the day.
That's fantastic. Craig, and what do you think is something that you are serious about in terms of yourself? I mean, what guarantees your own sense of success? I mean, some of your own maybe values?
We really value, integrity and honesty at the end of the day.
Okay.
Full transparency.
Okay.
It's there's no two ways about it. That's how we work. Everything is transparent, and it's the best way. There's no gray areas when working with us.
Yeah, and those uncomfortable questions, can we become a little bit more colorful? Because we don't want to pay that amount of
creative.
That's the word, Mr. Accountant. Please help me be a little bit more creative with my finances.
Exactly.
How do you respond to that, Greg?
It's pure and simple. That's not the area we play in.
Okay.
Too often it comes back to the detriment of the client.
With interest, right?
With interest to the detriment of the client.
Yeah.
So upfront, we play in the right spaces.
Okay.
We make sure that the business is 100% above board in all aspects. be
Not
it
taking
finance
risk with
or tax.
anything.
We don't take any risks with any of the financial institutions or tax man. You know, you want to, when you go to bed at night and your head hits that pillow, you want to be, you know, sleeping soundly. You don't want to be thinking of anything that's lurking there in the unknown or in the dark that might come out.
Yeah, and Christy, I often have this conversation with Craig, like he wants to have his 8 hours sleep, but he also wants to make sure his clients does. I mean, you know, they get
Exactly.
their sleep.
Yeah, no, you know, when as I said, when your head hits that pillow,
Yeah.
you must be at ease,
Okay.
knowing that everything is 100% above board.
Craig, it's so amazing. Where can business owners, managers get hold of you? Are you open for a consultation, just to have a cup of coffee? Is that something that you would invite anyone who's listening to do?
Definitely. Thank you, Lindie. I mean, we invite all opportunities to meet and get in touch with business owners that would like to take control again of their finances.
Okay.
And it's very easy to reach us. The
And
best
where
place
would that be?
Best place would be on our website.
Okay.
www.crowedna.co.za.
Okay.
It's got all our information, everything that is relevant to what you might be looking for. You'll be able to find it and get in touch with us through our website.
Okay.
Otherwise, all the social media channels, you know, as normal.
You're out there, Craig Morse.
We're out there.
Christy, it just makes me think that gone is the excuses, eh? So if you're a serious business owner or manager of a big company, gone is the excuses. I mean, it's out there, technology is out there, expert advice and financial partners are out there.
They are indeed,
Yeah.
Lindie. You know, there's no more excuses. You can't say I didn't know anymore.
Yes. Or
And-
I wish I did.
Oh, I wish I did. You've got to take action today. You know.
Yeah. So you know what? Thank you so much. I wish you all the best.
Thank you,
Blessings for you and your team.
Thanks
and
very much.
may you absolutely grow from strength to strength.
Thank you,
lovely
Lindie.
being part of your journey.
Thanks, Lindie, and thanks very much for the opportunity to chat with you today and share some of our insights and knowledge to the rest of everybody.
I definitely enjoyed it. Thanks a lot, Craig, for coming in. Lindie, vir
Thank
jou
you.
ook baie dankie. Ons sien weer volgende week.
Ek sien julle weer volgende week.
O, ek moet dan net sê, my ouditeur het altyd gesê, betaal die belastinggaarder wat hom toekom, nie noodwendig wat hy vra nie.
Nou wonder ons of dit op die spektrum van kleur van
We'll have to have
creative
a conversation about that one later.
Thanks a lot, Craig. Cheers.
Thank
Bye-bye,
you,
Lindie.
Christy.
Sien jou
Thank you
volgende
so
week.
much.
Bye-bye.